All right. Hello, again. Hello, Jesse. Jesse, so cute. He's ready for bed. He's getting kind of mad because it's getting close to super late, isn't it? I know it's getting super late. Well, welcome back again. There's been some interesting little updates that have been going on that Ike and I have been talking about. There's one guy, his name is Dabu7, whatever. I'll put a link in there. He has a lot of good footage of events that are happening. So you can kind of use his footage to practice remote viewing, which is kind of a fun thing. And also to talk to your star family and see what kind of information they might have. So anyway, Ika and I were talking about what's been happening out down there at the border thing. So I'll play that and then I'll explain what he told me about what's going on there. So there's quite a bit of takedown right now. Of the deep state and the extraterrestrial military how do I call them, assistants. I don't know. They're not doing well. Ika's group isn't doing too much. They're kind of staying in the background because they're allowing the Earth military to do its thing in removing the deep state. So it looks like they're doing like border patrol, but they're not. Most of that is deep state. And I'll explain how that actually is rolling out. Anyway, so I'm gonna, let's see, trying to fudge and pull up this video. There it is. Let's see. There, advanced share. Share, blah, blah. There it is. Okay. All right.
The use of weaponized drones that have explosives, bombs, any other weaponry that they can get on them against anyone protecting our country. All the ICE agents, Border Patrol, all the sheriffs, law enforcement, any military, anybody that's trying to protect our border, they're fair game now for these targets. So I told you it was going to go to another level. It looks like that's the case. It also looks like there's some infighting between the cartels down there on the border area. I would suspect that the United States government has infiltrated one of them to get at the other. That's normally how they operate. If not, they have the Apaches, the drones, and
Stop there, because this is something Ika warned everybody about before. The deep state has weaponized drones. We do too, of course. And these are actually the drones and not the orbs, the extraterrestrial stuff. These are all Earth-made drones. And that's what he was warning everybody about because you don't know what the deep state's going to do. And as you've seen, they're no holds barred right now. They'll do anything they'll do anything. They want to kill us. So yeah, you just can't trust these different kinds of drones. They don't all look like drones. Some of them look a little bit more sophisticated. So that's what they are doing now. As he says, I'll pull it back. Play it. Helps if you play it.
all the sheriffs, law enforcement, any military, anybody that's trying to protect our border, they're fair game now for these targets. So I told you it was going to go to another level. It looks like that's the case. It also looks like there's some infighting between the cartels down there on the border area. I would suspect that the United States government has infiltrated one of them to get at the other. That's normally how.
So that, yeah, then this I had foreseen in some several remote views is that what they're going to do is get a lot of these deep state operators, and I think sometimes we misunderstand the massive sort of black military that is behind the scenes here with these deep state or cabal, whatever you want to call them, organizations that pretty much that run not pretty much that run this planet. Um, well, not so much anymore. These guys were all involved with the drugs. They're all involved with the arms trafficking. They're all involved with the human trafficking, and they used advanced electrogravitic propulsion, UFOs, to move weapons, drugs, and people all around, children, of course. That is how they did that. So within the military, so there's be like these sort of like fringe black military groups as well as actual military groups that were part of these dark missions. And you have to be a complete lunatic to be in them. And there's actually quite a few whistleblowers. If you go on Dr. Greer's site, he's got some archival footage of people who were actually attacked because they were in the military and they end up meeting up with some of these factions. But also, there's a lot of military who were involved in this, these dark operations. And you have to be a complete, lunatic, serial killer, basically, to be in them. One guy, he's in the news now. I'm not going to talk about him, name him, but he was part of this. And it's part of the UFO stuff too. So anything to do with the UFO retrievals, the people that were generally involved in the UFO retrievals were black, black military. And I had a friend you mentioned it too that yes, the wet works. So these are the ones that would kill you and all that kind of stuff. They're not moral people. I mean, whatever. I guess the morality is on a scale. They don't give it. But these people don't give a crap. So you do have this mix in the drug cartels. There's sort of a front, and this is what Eco was talking about. They had kind of a front of like what you might see as like these petty mafia type criminals, but behind them, what's you think about the massive amounts of funding that was a part of these cartels, that's all deep state money. And the deep state pockets were endless because they're sucking everybody dry and all that stuff. And this is the United States by and large, behind all of these, you know, my God, I don't even want to call them criminal organizations because that makes them sound cute. You know, they're Nazis, really. It's a massive global, God, thug army. you know, there's and I actually channeled a book. It was in 2008. I channeled a book, and I just started publishing it on Facebook here and there. I stopped doing it because I ended up doing some other things, but the whole book is written. I've just been kind of taking some time off. I can put a link on there now, and I'll put a link to the Facebook where I'm actually publishing the book for free. But I channeled the book, and it's all about this. It's all about human trafficking, which is something in 2008 I hadn't really thought about. I'm like, what's human trafficking? I mean, I knew about human trafficking, but I didn't. But I ended up getting involved in it then because upstairs was starting to feed me the information for the second part of my mission. Anyway, so yeah, that's what you're seeing here. So white hats, the white hat military, as Eco was saying, is infiltrating and using psyops to get the black hat operatives, and there's God knows how many of them, thousands and thousands of them, to start waking up and realizing that, hey, you guys, you can either die or you can begin to kind of clean your act up. So that's what they're getting them to split. See, that's what they're doing. And that's what the deep state did to humanity forever, basically, is getting humans to fight each other. What better way to rule? So this is what they're doing now. This is kind of cool. So the white hats are using, I'm just going to call them white hats. I don't know what else to call them. The white hats are using the psychological operations that the bad guys were using forever against the bad guys right now, which is pretty damn cool, if you ask me. All right, Jesse. Oh my God.
How they operate. If not, they have the Apaches, the drones, the military, everything down there ready to rock. They can really just start to blow these guys out of the water. It's pretty crazy because this is a full-fledged war front at this point, and it's only going to get worse from here as things progress. I've got a clip here that puts out a warning, and it speaks on this memo.
Yeah, and then Ika wants to just reiterate that too. The deep state's going to go freaking nuts right now. So, as the good guys start making moves on them, taking them down, blowing up. There's been the sounds of explosions. Like we had the earthquakes here; those are blowing up the dumbs. But there's sounds of explosions that are happening in different parts. Those are the dumbs being, collapsed. So yeah, the deep state's going to just go bananas, and they'll do anything to kill as many people as they can. So you just have to be really careful.
Just a heads up for everything that's been going on down here at the border.
Also just got our hands on a memo out of the Rio Grande Valley sector that actually says that this is kind of crazy here, that the cartels authorize the use of weaponized drones, explosives against CBP personnel and U.S. law enforcement down there at the southern border. Now, they're actually being encouraged, of course, to remain cognizant and vigilant, but they're also being encouraged to use their long arms. Like, I have never seen this in a CBP memo before. They say variables here, yes, but they're telling them, hey, have your long arms. Yes, they are saying, watch out for these weaponized drones. We've seen a lot of infighting with two different factions of the cartel down in Tamaulipas, that is on the south side of the border in the Rio Grande Valley, and they have like an all-out war happening between these cartel factions. So they are warning now that they might be using these weaponized drones against U.S. personnel on this side. So
The use
All right.
of weaponized.
Yeah, so basically, what you're seeing there, the news isn't going to tell you, but the deep state's fighting amongst itself. It's starting to collapse from within. It's you're going to see a lot, as I said, you're always going to see a lot of flippy, where a lot of these people who are in the deep state are going to flip sides. Now, this is the thing, there's so much hatred of celebrities, and there's a lot of mind control that was going on, and that's a lot of these people were victims, not all of them. But I'm not in law enforcement, so I ain't gonna be picking and choosing. If you want to go around picking and choosing, be in the FBI, be my guest. But a lot of these people are victims of I mean, crazy ass, gross, um, deep state bullshit, and they controlled everything. Like I said, we all know the story, right? The deep state controls everything, but they're now like corroding. They're just gonna start. They know they're going down, so a lot of people are gonna start saying, "Hey, shit, I'm not gonna stick with the losers. I'm gonna go and move with the white guys, the white hats, right? The white hat guys." So I don't know, because I don't know what else to call them. So the benevolent Terrans, whatever you want to call them. So great stuff. Is going on now, but just be careful. You always say, it's just bad. These guys are nuts. There's going to be a lot of them that are not going to give up, and they're going to try to kill as many regular people, and that's how they get back. They kill regular people. So yeah, just be mindful of that. And oh, and I also want to say thanks to everybody who's throwing in questions for Ika, because he'll be answering a lot of those. And once we get a couple together, I'll put them all in another interview with him. So so people want to know about, like, yeah, write in the comments what you want to know about, because I'll ask them. People want to know more about what life is like on Era, what kind of clothes we wear, what we eat, all that kind of stuff. And he's like, not pizza. Like, not pizza, man. Or he doesn't like, yeah, another thing, Louise Jones, she has her wonderful little live podcast that she does on Sunday nights. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun, and very laid back, great information. But she was talking about her love of mac and cheese, and this great new little mac and cheese truck that's been going around. And Ika does not like mac and cheese. He likes pasta, but he doesn't like mac and cheese. And he doesn't like spaghetti sauce so much, pasta sauce. He'll eat it, but it's not his thing. And that's a his thing. It's not an a hell thing. That's a his thing. That's the thing. It's like there isn't like, what do a hell do? I don't know. I'm not in people's homes. I was never running around. So everybody lives a little differently, but I guess, it's a planet. So it's kind of like saying, what do people on Earth eat and do? Like, oh shit, I don't know, all kinds of different stuff, right? Depends on where you're from. So I can only speak for my family and him, and but I'll talk about my parents, my I held parents who are on Era, still there. I see them every once in a while. And what our house, it's the AI stinks. I can't get the AI to do that. I tried to get the AI to do our house, and it's just bullshit. I don't know how else I can just describe it. You can't, I don't know. Well, I'm not very good at computers, so I'm sure if you're a master of AI, you probably could do this. But try to use some of the landscapes and that kind of stuff. It's just a challenge. It really is kind of a Lord of the Rings type. That's what it looks like on Era. But because we don't, excuse my Gaelic, fuck around with our environment, because that's really stupid. Anyway, you gotta, if you're gonna live there. But yeah, so we'll talk about some of that. I might. Oh, so I got the Patreon pretty much set up. We'll use that for groups, and I'll talk about this in a separate video. But so we can talk to each other live in Zoom. So we'll have an agreed date. We'll have these meetings where we can chat and people can share their stories, or it's not on a video, blah blah, right? It's in private, so I'm sure Eke will be able to make some of those. If I time them right. So he's like, I don't know my schedule. I know you don't. I know we don't know your schedule. But what else can I say? Oh, that's good. keep an eye on Duran Duran, especially the Union of the Snake video. So they've been force feeding me Duran Duran ever since I was a teenager, which I enjoyed. I like them very much. And I like Nick Rhodes because he looks a little like now I know now I know why he was attracted to him. So they're probably, and I can feel like the nine was probably like, look at this one, but Duran Duran, there's a lot of hidden messages in there, and I just today noticed why they were giving me New Moon on Monday. I'm like, New Moon on Monday. What is it? I know there's several meanings to it, but then I just noticed today that there's a woman being, assaulted. And when I was a kid, that happened to me from the deep state. So sorry, Louise. She got to see what actually she got to remote view it. I sorry. No one wants to see a kid raped, but she got to see that. So I'll do a separate video on that, which is what happened to me when I was a kid. Yeah, I was taken up by the which is why I don't like authority figures, and it's just a lot of stuff that happened here, unfortunately. But anyway, we'll do that in the separate thing because I know a lot of people, and I'll put a warning on there because it's going to be kind of deep, dark, and delicious. So I'll put a warning so people may not be okay with that yet. A lot of us went through this kind of stuff. So if you look at Newman on Monday, it's kind of shocking. You're like, wow, that's a weird thing to add in there. But that's another thing from Duran Duran showing you just what these guys are monsters. I mean, I don't even know if I told you some of the remote viewing I've seen of what they would do. So yeah, a lot of shit. So yeah, I don't think there's really anything. Oh, also don't forget to go on. I'll maybe share a little video of that and another quick post. But go on Zoe's channel. So we had a little party, Zoe and I. Little bit of a kind of a remembrance of what? Oh my God. Of life on Era, and just kind of a wee chit chat. It's kind of long because we started yapping, but anyway, that'd be fun. And that's about it. I don't think we'll say anybody else has anything. Do you have anything to say? It's time for bed. That's why I know it's time for bed. It's time for bed. It's time for me to go to, yeah, I know it. What? You look guilty of something. You're guilty of something. Yes, you do. You look guilty of something. Look at I'm guilty guy. Look at that face. Oh, I'm a funny guy. Hello. Now he's like, I don't want to be on this. Oh my God. All right. So yeah. Oh, and JP did another chitty chat with Michael Sala. So you put him on there. No, Ika doesn't know JP. I asked him because they're both in the military, and of course JP's working with Nordics. But no, he doesn't know him because they're in a different, cross country. So anyway, I did ask upstairs about that. And upstairs said contracts. I'm like, I figured. So there's like a lot of different events, things, complications. So I didn't get involved. But anyway, so very cool. Enjoy your evening. Check out JP's latest, and don't forget, check out some stuff from Duran Duran and some of the different songs you might be getting because there's messages in there that are part of your mission, maybe, right? So all right, well, cheers.